Looks to be round about sunset. I think I'll make a vlog and take a walk. I don't really get outside much. After all the stars, cars, bars, and electric guitars in my life, I ended up being kind of a recluse, a gall-darn hermit recluse that leads a real simple life. Yeah, I gotta throw the trash out. It turned off cold. Turned off pretty cold. Since it's been cold, I did one vlog, a little shorty, which was still 8 minutes. It's crazy how quick these things add up. What was it in that Abraham Lincoln movie? Abraham Lincoln, I guess, was long-winded sometimes at his stories, and he said he was like the preacher who said he would have made his sermon shorter, but once he started writing, he was too lazy to stop. I like that. That's kind of how vlogs can be. May take a little walk for the first time. I've had a pretty severe heart condition that's really been bothering me in the last few weeks, and so I haven't felt very good. I really, been the first time since I've been doing this, I haven't. What the heck? Is that a kid or a... Can't see it. It is pretty nippy. I don't know what that was. So anyway, I hadn't felt very well, and for the first time the last 3 or 4 days, I've done a few mixes actually. I'm probably 40 songs ahead that I've done and need to put a video on, or if I were better, in better health, I would make a video for each one, you know, showing me playing all the instruments and how I did it and everything, and make it interesting. But that sort of adds an extra 100 hours onto everything. So plus it's a real skill to it's kind of like, that's why they list casting agencies at the end of movies or something. It's a real skill to find the right players for movies, or to match audio to video. Let's go over and poke around my favorite little cubby hole here. It's kind of one of those deals where now I finally get that. It's self-evident. If it's dry, it's sunny. If it's wet, it's rain. If it's rocking, it's windy. If it's white, I didn't get that before. He's like Lincoln. He holds these truths to be self-evident. But yeah, it's you would be surprised at how many most videos that I see, somebody who has tried to put an existing video with music. I mean, YouTube is like an editor's dream. There's an unlimited amount of video on there, tremendous amount in the Creative Commons, and even if it's not, it doesn't really matter, because it's expected that people are going to use your damn video, you know. And it also falls into fair use, because if you're altering it by taking away the soundtrack, if you'll notice, legally they make QuickTime to where you can do screen captures all day long, but you can't easily. I mean, I can with Soundflower and other stuff, other applications. You can capture the audio and video, but you know, Apple, who makes QuickTime, or anybody, you can capture images all day long, and that's kind of reflective of the climate, the legal climate, you know. But they don't want you to capture a single second of audio, and so it'll do video captures all day long, built in QuickTime, but it won't do any audio captures, screen captures. But you can use Soundflower to get around that. It's a hassle, but it works. You know, the world's media, audio and video media, is so how do you say, transmissible now so quickly around the world instantly that there's going to have to be new standards and new laws. I can't remember. I think it was Ray Kurzweil was talking about copyright lengths and how long people can hold a copyright on something. And I think also somebody else was, can't remember, I'm a little hazy. But the point was that people are allowed copyrights way too long. They were set up for another era, and this is a different era, and it sort of holds technology back. That, and also the fact that there are a lot of copyrights of like really, music that would be considered national treasures that can't be released because they can't find anybody who owns the copyright, and it's still in force. I mean, it's maddening. It is truly maddening sometimes on both ends of the stick with copyright, but because all those songs that we loved all growing up and everything. I've had one little rough up with Supertramp, Take the Long Way Home. I got a copyright strike, even though I was licensed and permissions and did everything right. YouTube doesn't play by those rules. They play by we're the 9,000-pound gorilla. We'll do whatever the hell we please, rule. And there's so much money. I'm just going to philosophize in this one. Philosophize at random. These are like FM radio. I mean, I don't expect anybody to ever watch them. By the way, if you leave a comment or anything, lately I've been finding comments, even though I go looking for them, and I go to my page that collects them all, and I go to each video after I put it up, Man, it's cold out in this mofo. Let me get behind a wind blocker if I can. Still, they haven't been showing up lately, and one of those deals. The other thing is occasionally, it's happened a couple of times since I started doing this, like 3-4 times. You'd be surprised at people who are addicted to drama. Some people put up these sites. The entire site is dedicated, do not make a fucking friend request to me, you fucking asshole, And I got an email the other night that started off with "you cunt," and I was like, well, with the first few words I stopped and I said, you're obviously from the UK, and let me go to the site. And the entire thing was, of course, it's always all the haters lock their shit up tighter than a drum, and you can't communicate with them in any way. The professional haters, some are stupid, and you can look at their feed and then reply to a video, see what they just replied on, and reply to that with your personal, fuck you back to them. And I know it sounds sophomorish or whatever, but for me, I just think it's really important for people who go around spreading hate randomly at others, because it can be really upsetting. It doesn't bother me a bit anymore. It's going to happen 2 times out of every 1,000, no matter what you do. That's just people. People are great, though. 4,000 or 5,000 thumbs up, 200 down, 150 from 2 haters who went through my entire playlist. They also tried to, I'll finish that other topic in a second. They also tried to click bomb me, although I'm not collecting any money on the ads. I was looking at the stats a while back. Somebody came by and hit my ads like 400 or 500 times in a day and made it rise like, 1,000%. Although technically percent is 1 each point represent per 100. There's 1 point per 100 per percent. So it's impossible. When your coach says, you boys will give me 110%, you go, coach, that is impossible. 100% is the entire, spectrum. But it's something, it's worthy of, I don't even pay attention anymore. It's, if anything this has taught me is to develop a thicker skin in my life. I had been paying way too much attention to the input of others around me, whose motives were, who cares? It's really even who cares what their motives were. You have to be sort of so focused that your own motives are, your own agenda and your own purpose is absolutely clear, and you have to disregard everyone around you, especially in the arts and this music business. But yeah, with the haters, you'd be surprised at the people who, and they're addicted to drama, the ones who put up those, dude, how dare you contact me, I'm highly offended and fuck you. Really what it is, if you think about it, I rarely get those friend requests, and I have a couple of very public sites. I may get 2 a month. People complaining about that, and it's all about exchanging. Every post or comment or message you put on YouTube assists your plight and getting your videos watched, and that's what most reasonable people that's what everybody on there wants. They write me begging constantly. But they're addicted to drama. I mean, a lot of times human behavior. I wanted to be a shrink at one time, a psychiatrist, and took all the courses and actually have a degree in psychology. But most human behavior is really predictable, my own included. And if you learn to kind of look for the patterns and stuff, you can figure a whole lot out about everything by just looking at the patterns that you follow and other people follow, and instead of making it some kind of invisible magic or some kind of inexplicable thing, just go, oh, I tend to do this. Like, my vlogs tend to run long, amigo. And while I'm free associating, part of that is that when we communicate with others, and I'm sort of thinking now, not even in real time, but like this, that there's chemical changes that take place in our brains that is sort of essential to our health and well-being. But and that takes place when we have these little talks, and even if anybody watches them or not, which is sort of disturbing all on its own. It seems to be helpful to me, to help me kind of organize my thoughts. But yeah, they're control freaks. It's highly likely that these people who set up sites that say, how dare you contact me, do not blah, 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 blah. They're filled with rage. They're angry. They're most likely in a situation in their life, a bad marriage or an abusive boss or were abused as a child, where they had no control, and they want to exert 100% control everywhere they can, and YouTube is a place they try to do that. And there's a lot of petty jealousy. Everybody wants to make a viral video. I imagine the only people who are making money at the general public level is the people who make that viral. And basically the viral thing is it's an ad telling you how to have a viral video. Basically they're piggybacking on Google AdWords and doing all the work for you pretty much, and charging you at least $10 a day is what I gathered. I think it's the minimum. So $300 a month to have a viral video. But anyway, yeah, these people that do the how dare you contact me and write a nasty letter, they like controversy, they like high drama, which, by the way, that tends to go along with addicts and alcoholics, high drama, or just people who are depressives or mania, all forms of mental illness. A lot of high drama where everything's really tense and there's a lot of screaming and stuff. Life doesn't have to be that way, and if yours is, I think the first thing to probably bear in mind in those situations, I've had high drama girlfriends, first thing to bear in mind is like it doesn't have to be this way, and that you can sort of step back, because that's really unpleasant. In the end, I had one girlfriend, everything was a screaming fist fight that ended with the police coming, Yeah, I had to arrest her myself once. I used to do security, handcuffed her and arrested her, and I didn't have her sent to jail, but I did have her taken away. But and I also, of course, I let that happen once and then broke up with her. But back and forth over the years, she had summoned the police to my business and residence a few times. But with high drama, yeah, it's an addiction. Um, and when you really get to the core of it, like my mom's kind of a drama addict. Can be high drama. She'll amp it up with you. I mean, it's been so great to sort of on YouTube learn. Like, I get thousands of emails. I pretty much disregard everything. I'm honest with myself, and you have to have a great product before you do something like this, or you will get flamed. But I learning to just basically put almost everybody, consider everything, and not emotionally, and no need to get all dramatic about it, but just to look at stuff and go, okay, I'll consider that. But for the most part, it's you just have to be focused, laser focused, and put everything else on the just plain disregard list. I don't get many haters, but it used to upset me quite a bit. Now it's on a 1 to 10. It's like a .0001. It's going to happen. I can imagine how many John Lennons and Trent Reznors and Freddie Mercury's, amazing people who were shut down in their life by haters and drama addicts, and they just couldn't stand the artist just couldn't stand the heat, so they got out of the kitchen, which is sort of part of the biz. I now realize a big part of it is being laser focused, disregarding most of the input you get, especially from non-professionals. Even when you get input from people around you, question their motives. I mean, I know hundreds of other musicians and people in the music business, and not a single one has bothered, and they're well aware of what I'm doing. Nobody has bothered to come by my site and post, hey, or good job, or anything. And what that tells me more than anything is that I think there's some jealousy, I think there's some envy, I think there's some mostly just who gives a fuck. We're busy leading our own lives, apathy, which mostly I don't think anybody's out to get me or anything, but some of them I was close friends with for years have been conspicuously not present. But what that tells me is in real life, those people did not have my best interest in mind. I mean, you sort of have to do what I've done, which is live completely either mentally or physically isolated from other people, because they have a mean evil streak in them. People do not, people are mostly good. I thought they were evil when I started this, from the number of thumbs up and the number of great comments and great letters I receive every day. I now realize people are pretty damn good. I actually kind of like them again. I like to stay away from them, but they're pretty good. But everybody, myself included, can be a hater. We all have sort of a mean streak in us. That's what's interesting about the hater phenomenon, is that there are times I don't even bother with thumbs down anymore. In fact, most of the time, I see something that somebody sends me, it's obvious it's professional or not from the first seconds. If it's good, if it's great, I'll watch it all the way through, or if I'm not in the mood and it's great, I'll thumbs up without commenting. I give hundreds of thumbs up all the time. But if I stop to comment, I lose my momentum. So it's a whole thing, man. It really is a whole package, the whole YouTube thing. But these people kill me. How dare you contact me? Oh my God, it's the biggest dramatic tragedy of the century. You motherfucking dirty son of a, and how people ratchet things up like that. And really, it's like, look, everybody's on there to get their videos watched and watch videos. And I think in the future, there will be a market that is defined for everything that happens. There are people who like to watch videos of other people's tennis shoes on concrete, who knows, or on grass, who knows. I enjoy some of the weird little obscure videos I get. I get some of them that just floor me. They're so poignant and so sublime, just a video of a guy standing in a neighborhood with another vehicle pulling away or something. That's just the perfect example of like what it is to stand in a neighborhood at sunset. And but yeah, those people who put up those kind of sites, and then there's other. Why would people go? I never offensively hate. Here's where I stand on that. I repeat myself sometimes in these to make a point, and other times just I forget. I'm old, but for me, anytime somebody puts something that's sort of threatening, violent, fucked up, cursing, just fuck you, you piece of shit. I get, occasionally I get one, you piece of shit, motherfucker, you suck, fuck you, you suck. So they always try from a different level or a different angle to hurt you. And it's always from a fake account, and usually it's buttoned up solid, and I'm good. I can track anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. I can go through back doors and find anybody to their front fucking door. I don't. I don't even bother. It's such a sea of humanity. But why anybody? Those are the kind of people you wouldn't want on a dark road at night. They do it because they think they can get away with it. They're probably, like I said, a lot of factors. Abused as a child, angry in general, the boss is abusive towards them, or they feel like they're not getting a fair shake. Most people aren't realistic. Out of every 10 million videos uploaded, probably one or two of them they're worth being viral. Mine aren't worth being viral. There's some excellent music there, but it's and neat videos, but it is what it is. Everybody kind of, if they're not an industry professional, they sort of have they are overreaching, thinking that the video of their shoes, for 10 seconds should be like praised around the world. And a lot of it's just from ignorance. I think people they're not industry professionals. They don't know what it takes. I think the number one thing is ask yourself, would you watch this? I mean, my music and my videos got about 3 months ago to the point where I would put that in my playlist, and I actually do occasionally listen to it. But before that, not really. I was smart enough to know it's damn good, but it's not something I would listen to. Now I will. I don't much, but I will. I have actually listened to it and liked it, but and on YouTube that doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter at all. The quality of your work doesn't have anything to do with the number of views it gets. I think eventually that the good stuff filters out there and people get it, but for the first 10 years, and it could take 10 years, 20 years for good stuff to filter out there sometimes, if it doesn't get the occasional and rare viral thing going. But one of the things I've noticed is that it doesn't matter how good it is. It's a situation of there could be free hookers and ice cream and jewelry 10 miles from here. I wouldn't know about it. If I did, I might head over there. Who knows? Maybe, I'm not all interested in any of those things at this point, but, a lot of people would be. But the point is, a lot of it's about marketing, having a great product and getting it out there. Because you can have a great product. Not too many emails stacked up here. Let's see. Okay. Somebody subscribed. A bunch of people subscribed to me today. Like 50 is crazy. Usually 22 average a day do. But, and not this site, my music site. But yeah, I think the quality, just years ago, like in 2007 when YouTube first came out, I thought, well, if I do some kick-ass music, make some kick-ass videos to go with it, this stuff will just go viral. It doesn't work that way. It has to be marketed. And once again, this is a long, vlog time killer. I'm a professional editor. I look at some of these at least once, and occasionally I'm thinking, oh my God, that needs edited down to the nub, but at the same time, they're also about filler and getting to know a person. And I could come on and have like a very well produced, 10-second video that says YouTube is a difficult place to navigate. You must have a professional video and there will be haters. Thank you. And that doesn't give you really any sort of, you don't get to develop the character that way, or sort of understand any of the rich details that are indescribable or inexplicable. My favorite scenes in the greatest movies, if you'll notice, like David Lynch or Milos Forman, in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, he's sitting on a bench with the Indian, and the guy just goes, juicy fruit. And it's like they're just like sort of like average, ordinary little deals where people are doing average stuff, and later people go, that was an incredible scene, and the director just put it in there. The smart ones do to develop the characters, but it also was in there to just sort of be a buffer or stretch in between two scenes. It was just there a lot of the time. But no, it doesn't matter. I used to think if you do incredible work, people will. I've done a couple on this one. I did a cover of a Rush song, single-handedly, played and programmed and sang all the instruments. I thought, well, this will set the internet on fire. This will sweep her. People will respect and admire this, and just, it is a really great cover, and duplicated the Rush, the drums of Rush, and did a fantastic mix and a performance, and some of the fewest hits on my site. And in a way, it's the song itself had a limited market to start with. And in a way, it is that it hasn't gotten out there. I never really marketed that one. But for me, the final thought on the haters is, I'm the kind of person, it's just, whenever, I've always sort of, in my life, learned to not get too involved and too interconnected with the music. There was the music and there was me, but this is my life's work, and so it's hard not to take offense when some lowlife, or it's usually an 8-year-old boy in Zimbabwe or some shit, sends you a scathing letter of what an asshole you are, and then fuck you. I think it's important that people, even if once a person has got a jolting from one of my, I don't reply from my real accounts, because then they come and down thumb everything in your playlist. When they hate, they hate. And but I have a bunch of fake accounts, and I set it up to where it takes me a second to email the username to a list, and then it's auto replied to with a scathing bunch of terrifying statements based on the keywords on their site. But if once a person has gotten jolted that sends out random fuck yous to other people, painful stuff at random to other people who are reaching out through YouTube, then I'm glad. It's the same reason we have jails. People who do stupid shit that makes no sense, sometimes they won't listen to anything, and you gotta have thugs in cars in blue uniforms with billy clubs come beat them down, throw them in a jail. And a lot of people, it takes until they get old before they learn, but some people learn that you just don't go around disrespecting other people. So, for me, that's where I stand on that. I will reply to all of them with a fake account, and there's not very many, like once a week now. Used to be every day, but I just think it's a public service. It's important to sort of shake them right back up. And I immediately block them from my professional accounts, and then randomly I wait a while so they don't know who did it from a fake account. But to me, it's a matter of principle. It's somebody who goes around dishing out that kind of garbage from a fake account, who set that up, is sick in the first place, and they need to know there's people out there, just them saying, I'm going to fucking kill you, flash across their screen with a fuck you motherfucker, I'm waiting outside. Maybe if once that's made them pause, then I'm all the more happy. And my personality's flawed in such a way. If I were to get a hold of one of them in real life, my biggest personality flaw in life has been I will take us both to the brink. You're going to die or I'm going to die. Not over the hater thing, but because I said, don't fucking do it, Jack. That's one of my main personality flaws. It's like you push me and you push me over and over, and I'm the kind of guy I'd sit in prison and just relish the thought that I bashed your fucking skull and killed you, and mainly it's just because you thought you were away scot-free, but you're going to occasionally run into somebody really fucked up like myself who has the tools to track you down. And it would take an awful lot. I mean, it would take, somebody showing up, tracking me down before I would hurt anybody. But, yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, it's something that I'm capable of. I wouldn't want to do, but it's in me. I try not to say shit that I'll have to edit off, and then I'll probably never post this one, but I might. I could give two shits. My time in this world is limited. That's one thing, too. All of this is, I understand now, my time is limited, so my behavior can be quite a bit more extreme. I wouldn't even keep a vlog if I were going to live another 20 years. I'll be 50 in May. And with this heart condition and the symptoms I'm having, I would be very surprised if I make that. So, but yeah, with me, it's just with the haters, it's important that they receive something back that says, at random. And I hope it's disturbed at least one of them a little bit. Because it's upsetting, and I can imagine how many completely innocent people who are just, the internet's beautiful. What? This upsetting shit doesn't bother me a bit anymore. It's just the price of doing business on YouTube. You're going to run into people who, just like life, they're completely out of control and can make absolutely no sense to anything or anyone, and they're out to hurt everyone. I feel like Judge Dredd. Crime's a disease, and I'm the cure, bitch. But they really are. They're the same people that commit war crimes when the lights go out and all kinds of stuff. They think they can get away with it. And that somebody, as stated, would set up these fake accounts. I haven't had one for days. I'll probably get one now. Set up these fake accounts so that they can attack you. I've never attacked anyone blindly. It's always defensive. But anyway, I just think an answer back is important, even if sometimes it's not going to a fake account. But most of the time it is. But it takes me 1 second per hater to just email that to Hal. He stores it in a database, and 2 weeks, 6 weeks, he click bombs their site with every kind of vicious bullshit saying and attack that they can possibly stand. Because really, I've got my life tied up in this, and I'm trying to show people who knew me. I never let anybody in, really. So people who knew me didn't know I could do all this stuff, and so well. And I've done it all separately for other people and helped other people in the background bring their thing together, but never for myself. So my whole life's tied up in this. Before I die, I'm trying to show people who I was and what I could do, and then it was interesting at least, and at times remarkable. At times, not always, but at times remarkable. So I don't know, I'm just trying to make my bones in a business that every 2-bit dickhead who can strum a chord and yodel a thing, wants to get into. It requires 100% honesty. You have to be honest with yourself and compare yourself with the finest stuff in the world. And, that's the problem. That's the key. You have to be honest with yourself and always ask yourself, what's weak about this? What sucks about this that I did? What could be better? How does it compare with what's on the market? How can I make it better than anything on the market? Am I willing to put in the 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 hours per song and video to make it exceptional? And that's what it takes in today's world. It's like the BMX bike kids who, it used to be like a 2-foot ramp. Woo, got some air. You got like a foot that time, bro. And now kids are jumping, 150 feet off 90-foot ramps and shit. That's the world we live in. So peace out, motherfucker.